Welcome to Renewed Movement. My name is Christina, and we are moving our bodies on purpose, with purpose, and for a new purpose this season. I'm in my second trimester and loving movement on the mat. And today we have a special guest. I'm so honored to have my galley, my friend, yoga extraordinaire. We have Brittany on the mat today. She's going to be leading us through a pregnancy-safe flow on the mat. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to Brittany. She'll let us know what we need, and then we will get started.
Thank you, beautiful. Welcome, mamas. I'll be leading you through about a 20-minute flow. Just take it as your body tells you. Make any modifications. I'll cue them for you as well. But to begin, I invite you to grab a couple blocks. If you don't have a couple blocks, then like a stack of books, anything to bring the floor closer to you. And also a blanket or pillow would be great as well. So finding yourself on a seated position, let's elevate your hips. So we could take that block right underneath your sits bones. Roll the shoulders back and down. Feel the crown reach towards the ceiling as you allow your eyes to soften or close. Let's take a deep breath in and bring those arms around, reach overhead. Palms come together. Exhale to heart center. Taking both hands over the belly. Allow those shoulders to relax, soften the jaw. Taking this time to tune into the breath as you fill the lungs. Letting go through the mouth. Allow yourself to arrive fully in the body, recognizing this space that you share with baby. Just loving on yourself a little bit extra for taking this time for both of your wellness today. I invite you to set your intention for class, recognizing what we might be focusing on, what brought us to the mat as well. Noticing where you might be holding that intention in the body, sending the breath to that space, and exhale it out. Could breathe those arms back overhead on an inhale as we reach, palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Flutter the eyes open and palms can rest on the thighs here. Rolling the shoulders back and down. We're going to begin with a couple neck rolls here. So we're going to tuck the chin to the chest. Going to take that right ear to right shoulder. Roll it around. Exhale, chin back to chest. Inhale, take that ear to the shoulder. Send that head around. Exhale, opposite way on that next inhale. Nice and slow. Feeling that stretch through the neck. One more breath in. And out. Chin comes to chest as we realign back and seated. We could breathe the arms overhead on our inhale. Exhale, that right hand is going to drop to that right side. Left arm reaches overhead. Gaze can come towards the ceiling, dropping down through that left sits bone. Relax the shoulders as we breathe through that left side body. Maybe micro bend in that right elbow. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale as we float back up to center. Exhale, opposite side. Take a micro bend through that left elbow, that planted hand. Reaching that right arm overhead. Ground down through that right sits bone. You can gaze up towards the sky if that feels comfortable. Deep breath in and out. Breathe those arms overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. You could reach those arms forward, palms up. That left hand can grab those right fingers and gently pulling them back, keeping the wrist in line with the shoulders. We can roll the shoulders back and down, just pressing that wrist forward, working through the forearm. Inhale and exhale. Letting go as we flip the palm to the mat, gently pulling those fingers back, pressing that wrist forward, still in line with the shoulder. Deep breath in and out. Keep that neck long. Exhale, release, roll out the wrists. Again, those palms can come to the mat. Though that right hand can grab left fingertips as we pull that hand back, pressing that wrist forward. Keep those shoulders relaxed as we work tension out of the body. It might try to hide out somewhere else. So allow that tension to release with the breath. One more inhale and exhale, pressing away from the body. Letting go as we flip the palm, that right hand can pull those fingertips back, pressing that wrist forward, working through that forearm. Inhale, finding just a bit more depth on that exhale. One more breath here, and out. Roll out the wrists when you're ready. And then you could find yourself into a tabletop position. You could move that block to the side as you find yourself on all fours on your mat. Shoulders are over wrists, making sure that we align the body with hips over knees. Roll those shoulders back. Feel like there's a magnet on that back wall pulling the hips back, but we're keeping the hips over the knees. Feel that head reach towards, the crown of the head reach towards the front of the room as we breathe in. Exhale, drop the core, lift the gaze, and lift the sits bones, widen through the chest. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone to cat. 3 more cycles here. Just allowing yourself to move with the breath. Something I love about yoga is just practicing slowing down, working with the power of the breath. Exhale back to that tabletop position. With that crown reaching towards the front of the room, gazes towards the mat, we're going to draw a circle with our belly button as we come over and send those hips back. Big circles clockwise, just working through the hips. You can rock through the shoulders, finding a little playfulness in your practice, opposite way, as we stir with the belly. Exhale on your way back. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the back, and find yourself in a tabletop position when you're ready. From here, we could press that left hand into the mat, reach that right arm towards the front of the room, step that left foot back. We can come into our bird dog position, pointing through that toe. Deep breath in, keeping those hips level. We could flex that left foot. Exhale, point the toe, bring elbow to knee as we round the spine. Squeeze at that midline. Exhale, reach, extend long, point the toe. Flex the foot on that inhale. Point the toe, bring it to center, elbow to knee on the exhale. One more here as we reach. Exhale, elbow to knee as we squeeze. Lengthen into your bird dog. Keep those shoulders back and down. Keeping that left wrist underneath that left shoulder. We're going to reach that right arm over to that right side and kick that left leg over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale as we reach. Inhale back to center. One more. Inhale, back to center. Reach, and then we will plant that hand back on the mat. Plant that knee. Cat-cow it out. Inhale. And exhale. I like to use those cat-cows as kind of like shaking on an Etch-a-Sketch, just resetting before we move to the other side. So placing that right wrist underneath that right shoulder, left arm reaches forward as we step that right leg back. Coming into bird dog on that opposite side. Look at that right wrist. If we need to scooch it so it's right underneath, supported underneath that shoulder, stacking our joints here. Point that foot. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point, and exhale, bring that elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, nice and long. Exhale, flex that foot. Inhale, point. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more here. So we point, flex, point, bring it in. Rounding the spine, pressing the earth away. Exhale as we come to that bird dog position. Finding stability, hips are level. Deep breath in. As we exhale, reach that left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Breathe in. Exhale, realign back to center. Relax through the shoulders. Inhale as we reach. Open through that hip. Exhale. One more here. Inhale, reach. And exhale back to your bird dog. Hold here. Spot your mat coming to that tabletop position. Take a cat-cow from here. Again, resetting before we move on. It's important to take that time to allow your body to adjust movement to movement. Finding yourself back at table. We could step that right foot back as we tuck that toe. That left shin is going to slide, taking that left ankle behind that left knee. Point that right foot as we press into that left hand. We're going to stack that right hip over left as we breathe, that right arm overhead. Pointing that toe of that right foot. Exhale, send that right arm towards the front of the mat. Breathing through that right side body. Pressing those hips gently towards the sky. Exhale. One more breath. Spot your mat. Land that hand, bringing those ankles back behind you, knees under hips to table. Cat and cow. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to that tabletop position. Same thing, opposite side. As we step that left foot back, left leg is straight behind us. Maybe take a gentle pulse working into the hamstrings. Sliding that right ankle behind that right knee. So we're pivoting here. Press into that right hand. Stack the shoulders as we point that left toe. Breathing that left arm overhead. Keep pressing the hips towards the sky. Left hip stacked over right. On your exhale, if that's comfortable, you could reach that left arm overhead. Taking a little side bend. Deep breath in. Exhale, surrender that weight, opening just a bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, you could spot your mat, placing that hand onto the mat. Come back to that tabletop position as we take a cat and cow. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to that tabletop position, we're going to tuck the toes, open those knees, mats with distance, big toes touch as we press back into our child's pose. Relax the shoulders. Feel that crown reach towards the front of the room. And on that next inhale, we're going to breathe those shoulders over wrists. Take those knees back underneath the hips as well. Tuck the toes. And when you're ready, pressing into the hands, we could straighten the legs, sending our seat back into our downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet, just like you would riding a bike. Keep those shoulders back and down. Heart is shining towards the back of the room. Stay with the breath. And as you inhale, bring those heels high, bend the knees as we look between the hands. Walk forward as we find ourselves in a fold. And you could always take that block to bring that floor closer to you, so that you're supported in your fold. Take a little bend in the knees. You could heel toe those feet a little bit wider. Invert those heels just slightly. As we grab opposite elbows, take a gentle tuck of the chin, rocking from left to right. Roll the shoulders back and down, even as that weight is falling forward. Gentle tuck of the chin towards the chest so that cervical spine stays long. One more breath in and out. Coming back to center. Take those hands back to the mat or block. We're going to bend into that right knee. Keep that left leg straight as we plant that right hand onto the mat or block. Left arm reaches overhead. Just a gentle stretch. Feel as if someone's about to pull you up off your mat. Keeping that energy rising. On your exhale, we're going to straighten that leg, plant that hand, bend that left knee. This time, right arm comes overhead. When we're twisting during pregnancy, it's important to keep your twists open. We're going to rotate away from that bent knee rather than towards it. Exhale, we'll switch it out each side one more time as we bend into that right knee. Reach that left arm overhead, keeping that twist nice and open. Exhale, plant, bend that knee, inhale, lift. Deep breath in here. Exhale, back down to our fold. From here, maybe widen your stance just a little bit. We're going to take a bend in the knees, and I'm going to give you two options here. You could take that block and find yourself in your Malasana squat, or you can also just be in your Malasana without the block. Just depends on what serves you today. Find yourself in your supported squat or your Malasana. You can rock from left to right, pressing those knees into the elbows, pressing the elbows into the knees, working into those hips. Deep breath in, maybe close your eyes, surrender to the breath. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Finding stillness. When you're ready, you could place those hands onto the mat as we straighten those legs, finding that wide leg forward fold. Invert the hands so that those fingertips are facing the back of the mat. Again, you could always bring that block with you to bring that floor closer to the hands. Take a gentle bend in the knees if you'd like. Then we're going to pulse through the elbows. Gentle bend in the elbows as that chest comes towards the mat. Exhale as we press away. Inhale, bend, chest comes a little bit deeper. Exhale, press away. One more here. And exhale. Taking those hands back in front of the body, fingertips facing the front as we heel toe those ankles back underneath the hips. We're going to bend the knees as we step back into our downward facing dog. Breathing heels high, bend the knees, open the hips as we come down to a child's pose. And in this child's pose, take a block right underneath that third eye, right between the eyebrows, as we relax here. Take a moment to allow your body to settle. As you reach that tailbone towards the back of the mat, softening through the shoulders, sits bones pressed towards the back of the mat, lengthening that spine. Continue to be conscious of the breath as we breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to walk those hands towards the body. Once you're ready, take those legs from beneath you. Sending those legs down the mat. Taking your block to the side. As you step those hands back, right behind the hips. Bending into the elbows as we step those feet back. We're going to drop those knees over to the right side. Inhale back to center and drop to the left. Breathe to center, drop to the right. Breathe to center and drop to the left. Back to center here. Get straighten those legs long, maybe widening the legs as we come up to a seat. Shifting from left to right, allowing those sits bones to ground. As we breathe, arms overhead. Reach, lengthen. Exhale, gentle fold. Keeping those shoulders back and down, taking that block so that that floor comes closer to you. Making room for you and baby. Lead with the crown of the head as those shoulders relax. Feel like there's an arrow coming from the base of the spine through the crown of the head. Just embracing that fold, leading with the heart. Gonna walk those hands over towards that right side. You could bring that block with you. Grabbing onto those right toes. Maybe bring that left arm overhead. Can't reach it all the way overhead, just reaching it where it's comfortable. Exhale, take that left arm to meet the right once more. Walking back to center. You could take that block with you. Then we're going to walk over to that left side, whether we use the block or just simply grabbing the toes. Or the ankles or shin, gentle fold. Keeping your breath slow and controlled. We bring that right arm overhead. You might notice that one side is a little bit more open than the other. This is completely normal. Just recognizing rather than diagnosing or judging. Exhale, take that right hand back to meet the left. Walk back to center. And as we inhale, round the spine forward, stack one vertebra at a time to seated. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, shoulders towards the ears. Exhale, roll them down the spine. One more as we inhale and exhale down the spine. Getting ready to lie into our final resting pose. Very important after a yoga class. We are going to create a little goddess throne for ourselves. I just want to show a couple options for going into your final savasana. I like to call this the goddess throne. We use 2 blocks for this. One is tall, one is flat and parallel with the back of your mat. Take your blanket, your bolster or pillow, placing it over just to give a little cushion. You could do this with or without that pillow. And then we're going to just kind of eyeball it so that we can lean back. You could bend your knees to support you, just so it catches those shoulder blades. Roll the shoulders back and down. That second block rests. Yep, right at the base of the spine. So finding yourself reclined, closing the eyes. We could stay here, or you could step those feet back. Maybe untuck the tailbone, and then allow both knees to fall open to butterfly with feet together. So when we are with baby, we, during savasana, should be mindful of just lying completely on the ground. And that's why I offer this option for a little bit of an angle incline while we are in our savasana. Savasana can also be done lying on the side as well. You find what is comfortable for you in this time in your body today. So in savasana, we really allow for our body to attune with the movements, the openings, transitions that are occurring, and continue to. So soften the face as you close the eyes. Let go of that controlled breath. Just allowing for the breath to rise and fall naturally. Taking a scan from the crown of the head, drawing down that midline, separating you into 2 perfectly imperfect halves, you and baby. And from there, just allowing yourself to connect to that center as both sides begin to fall away. Connecting with that light within. What I love about savasana during pregnancy is you could really take this time to spend time with baby, to really allow yourself to get to know each other on a soul level before you do physically. And don't be discouraged if that's not something that aligns with you right now. Sometimes it just takes some getting used to really go into that frame of mind. For now, I just want you to take what comes. Take things as they come. Let things go as they go. Breathing in big, big love. Exhaling big, big love. Softening through the shoulders. Spine is long. Hips widen. Legs grow heavy. And I invite you to stay in your savasana for as long as serves you. You could pause this video, or you can just listen through the end and not move a muscle. But if you're with me, you could allow yourself to begin to breathe energy back into the body, begin to roll out the wrists. Maybe rock the head from left to right. Those knees are in butterfly. We could stack those ankles underneath the hips once more. Transferring our weight into the forearms as we begin to walk those hands back, lengthen those legs long as you come into a seated position. Adjust what serves you. You could elevate those hips with a blanket. We can gently cross the legs, or we could sit nice and wide with the legs, whatever serves you and you feel supported as you take this time to transition out of class. As we roll the shoulders back and down, feel that crown reach tall. As we breathe, arms overhead, lengthen and lift, palms come together. As we exhale, take those hands to heart center as we bow the head. I'd like to leave with a few affirmations, just some mantras we could repeat to ourselves as we move through our days. Feel free to write them down if you'd like. So just in your mind, repeat to yourself, my pregnant body is beautiful. My pregnant body is beautiful. My body is the perfect home for my baby. My body is the perfect home for my baby. My body is supporting me and my baby. My body is supporting me and my baby. My body is powerful and wise. My body is powerful and wise. My body was designed perfectly for this. My body was designed perfectly for this. Taking your hands on belly, on baby, sending love and gratitude for this time together, this connection. You could bring those hands to heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. I send you off with so much gratitude, light, and love on your journey. Light and spirit in me bows and honors to the light and spirit in each and every one of you. Namaste.